Hello. So I'm just coming here. I tried to film an intro just a few seconds ago, but I didn't like it. So I'm starting over. And this video is going to be, I don't know, it's going to be a conversation. I'm probably just going to ramble on until I find a point, a talking point, and then I'll go from there. But I was having a conversation with my sister yesterday, and she basically outlined for me something that I hadn't really understood or fully registered until that moment. She um basically explained that we are in the midst of our apocalypse, and not that the world is ending, but that the world is changing um on an extreme level, and on a level that we are going to be able to see and recognize and pinpoint like turning moments over the next few years, decades. And that our generation, particularly like millennials included, but our generation, Gen Z, um, are really in for it when it comes to having to adapt to a different world. I mean, we all always say that, we're living in a different world than our parents got to grow up in and that our grandparents got to grow up in. But we are also living in a world that is going to change the experience of all life forms on the planet, because climate change is happening and it is at a point that is irreversible. So we're going to feel the effects of that over the next few decades. And I think that it's really sinister that none of our governments have fully acknowledged the reality of what's happening. There's all of these efforts to stop climate change and, to help address the issues that are happening on Earth. But the reality is that we are going through a massive shift, and things are going to be extremely difficult, and there are going to be natural disasters, and there are going to be droughts, and there are going to be shortages of food, and people are going to be hurt, and some people are not going to make it. And this is not only just the way of life, but it is due to the very specific circumstances that we are living under right now, um, in relation to climate change, in relation to how far capitalism has spanned and how deeply it's become embedded in our way of functioning, in relation to technology and what our relationship will look like with that over the next few years. And so I guess I'm just smelling like chemicals or something. I guess I just wanted to make this video. I guess to like put it out there and be like, hey, like we're in an apocalypse. But also just to be like, what are we gonna do about it? Because we've all seen the movies, the apocalyptic movies and all of that, and they depict a very specific type of scene, but it's usually like mid-apocalypse, and we're deep in, everybody's acknowledged that it's happening, but we're at like the beginning points where people are aware that life is very different, and the old normal, like 2019, we will never be there again. I'm not sure if we'll ever be in a maskless society again, and COVID and the existence of all of these viruses and health problems and droutages, what shortages, all of these things is, I'm not sure it's gonna go away. So we are in a new normal, and that normal is going to help shape what the future of our planet looks like, the future of life on this planet looks like, and our relationship with each other. And so I just feel like we need to start talking about what our game plan is for surviving and functioning as healthily as we possibly can in this new state of existence. And I'm not really focused on like food and things like that, because I'm not very educated in that sector. I don't know a lot about that, but I am talking about like mental health, because things are hard enough right now to want to survive, and things are going to get more difficult. And I think that we are seeing with things like the Great Resignation, and with more discussions around mental health and People, talking about and acknowledging that there are struggles that we all deal with. And, depression exists, anxiety exists, all of that. But we're going to need to get a lot deeper and need to start creating systems and supports for people. And we need to not rely on the government because, unfortunately, can't be trusted. Not me.